And we're in the Politicon VIP room with Mindy Robinson. How you doing, Mindy?
How you doing, y'all?
You're doing all. So, okay, you are on a panel yesterday. What was the panel about?
I did Kaya Jones' panel. It was a lot of different topics, like what makes America great to you, and what do you think of Trump and all that stuff. It was kind of a positive podcast, really.
Yeah, and it was positive. What I am seeing here, and I'd like to get your opinion, is that you got people from the left and the right, and they're talking a lot about our political discourse that's happening right now. How are you feeling about it all? How are we able to talk with each other nowadays?
I mean, I don't think you would come to a bipartisan political convention without being open.
Right.
You know, obviously, you have like places like Occupy Democrats, which is a constant echo chamber. Like, you even post a fact and they will ban you. I think they ban me on all 4 accounts just for posting a fact. Not for saying anything mean, because they won't ban you for that.
Right.
No one wants an echo chamber. I could talk to this wall all day. It is not very interesting. You know, so the people that are here for a discussion. And, you know, and I'm actually excited about it. Like, it's really cool to just not talk to, well, first of all, as in Hollywood, I don't get to talk to people with my opinion very often, and they're plentiful here. And there's a lot of people in the middle, and I think as a society we need to learn. There's a lot of people on the fence, in the middle, you know, depending on the issue. We're not that off from each other. Mostly. So,
again, being this as a bipartisan place, have you been to Politicon before, by the way?
I've not been to this Politicon.
Okay, so this Politicon is now at the LA Convention Center. It's much more spread out. This is the first time that they've done it in the 4 years that they've been doing it, and it was a much more condensed version before. And you had a lot more craziness. Do you see craziness here this year?
I was expecting, I was raised Catholic, so I expected the worst.
Right.
And I showed up, and I don't know, in my head I expected crazy liberals that I see on my Facebook. I expected, you know, half-naked MAGA rednecks, you know, that I'm probably related to. I showed up and it's very civil. And it's disproportionately conservative, which I'm surprised at.
Right.
Considering I felt like it was kind of definitely catered to both sides. And it's in Los Angeles. But at the end of the day, I feel like maybe conservatives in LA are just like, they want someone to talk to. They want to be around someone else without looking over their shoulder.
Right.
You know, it's been really cool.
You're very outspoken. What is, would you say, the number one priority issue for you right now as we're heading into another election and 2 years away from a nationwide election again?
I mean, there's tons of big issues. Obviously, I'm pro Second Amendment and all other stuff. Mm-hmm. Personally, my biggest issue has been censorship online. Mm-hmm. I've been banned I don't know how many times. The last ban, thank God, Breitbart stepped in. It was wrongful, and I got my Facebook back. But I'm watching my conservative, libertarian, patriotic peers getting picked off one by one, getting unpublished, getting kicked off for no reason, and there's no recourse. And I don't understand why people aren't angrier, because it's going to keep happening. It's going to be eventually just a giant echo chamber of whatever narrative Facebook and Twitter want to push.
So the control that Silicon Valley has is what you're concerned about, and who's deciding on who gets to post and who doesn't.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't see what's happening and not see that it's biased. You have people that are like, I don't know how many times I've heard where people have changed their profile picture to support a fallen officer and had it reported as hate speech and had it pulled down. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
Meanwhile, you got Louis Farrakhan, who's not being touched,
raging
right?
anti-Semite, and nothing will happen to them. And I think people are getting frustrated. We just had to purge, 800 accounts and pages on Facebook? Mary King lost his basic page. Uncle Sam's Misguided Children, unpublished. Hypocrite, unpublished. All these people are constantly under a threat of being unpublished. And why? They're not actually spreading anything other than they have a narrative that differs with Silicon Valley, and they're not having it. And I think that's unfair. If you're going to have a terms of service, I'm fine with that. But it has to be equal across the board. Otherwise, it's discrimination. I don't care if it's a private company or not.
Now, you're an actress. You're based out of Las Vegas, but you do a lot of work in Hollywood. You're in a film, if I remember correctly, because we had you on the red carpet at Gosnell. You're doing Roe v. Wade, correct?
I am. I went to support a fellow pro-life movie that's had the same uphill battles.
Yeah.
We had issues with Facebook blocking, Roe v. Wade's ads to get money. They blocked everything. They kicked our producer off of Facebook. It's absolutely insane. All we want to do is make a truthful, historically accurate film that is inherently pro-life, And the left doesn't want it. They don't want people to think outside the box. They want it to, it's a clump of cells. Really?
When's Roe v. Wade coming out?
It's in post-production now.
Okay.
So that's a huge thing I think people realize. Once you have something in the can, you've got to get it closed captioned, you've got to get it edited. You usually have to do ADR, you've got to do all kinds of things. Even pan and scan. There are other countries that still have little square TVs, if you remember. There's a lot of post-production that goes into it, and that's what makes a movie look good. So what's weird is in the middle of filming, the justice stepped down, and Kavanaugh we couldn't believe it, that Roe v. Wade may actually be looked at while this film is in post-production and hopefully out, I want to say November, but it also depends on distribution and everything.
So being an actress in Hollywood, you're in a very conservative movie. What is the feedback that you're getting from fellow actors?
I get a lot of secret feedback. I've been, 10 years ago, I graduated. I have an American history degree. I have a political science degree. I always cared about this stuff. No one else did. And then kind of magically before the election, suddenly everyone was like a pundit, had their 2 cents in. And I spent a lot of time correcting people like, if I have to explain the Electoral College one more goddamn time, there's reasons for everything. I had to explain basic civics, but I did it in a way that was funny.
Right.
I did it in a way, I like to point out hypocrisy because I hate hypocrisy. I absolutely can't stand it. So I pointed out whether it's my team or someone else's team.
Okay.
I was delivering news in an informative manner in which the average person could understand, and I did it with humor. Like a what the fuck? Like I spend most of my time going, what the fuck, as most people do, and people enjoyed it. And I got the Facebook shadow ban, and people manually follow the page. So as I get to my point, walking around LA, and I'm getting recognized more for my politics than I ever did for any of the movies or TV shows I did. And I get people coming up.
You've been recognized all over the place here.
Yeah,
every time I've seen you, there's people coming up to you.
It is weird. It's cool though, like to actually think about it. I'm not just getting recognized for, being some bimbo in a bikini in a film. I'm getting recognized for what I said, what I say, and what I do. And so people come up to me all the time, they're like, I know your page. I may not be able to retweet it. Like big people, country music stars, A-list actors. I know who you are. I've seen your page. I love it. I can't retweet it. I can't share it. But I appreciate what you do because I'm giving a voice to people that know they will be blacklisted, that know they will be bullied if they come out.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some good. I'm middle America. I'm a blue-collar actor. I really am.
Yeah. So you're based in Hollywood. You're also in Las Vegas as well. As far as what you think the future brings as far as being an actor, because I've got a lot of friends that are in Hollywood. I can't say their names because many of them are conservative and they don't want to talk about it. They are in hiding, correct?
Yeah.
So you find that as well?
I do. They're terrified. And, I find it such an odd... Think about this. Conservative actors are afraid to come out and, Lord forbid, say they're conservative. Mm-hmm. Well, you have liberal actors saying... regressive leftist actors saying ridiculous, insulting things to middle America, and they're still getting hired. I can't even blame my peers for not coming out. Because that's what they're going to get hit with. They're going to get hit with not working and watching people that are assholes get rewarded and get studio films.
Yeah. I was invited to a party, which is going to be, there's going to be a lot of Hollywood people there, and it was totally down on the DL. In other words, it was, you cannot say to anybody that you've been invited to this party, you can't post about it or anything, because there are people there that are concerned about their jobs. They're worried about their income because, why? You go to a conservative party, you're outed now.
Well, liberals are in power. They've been in power for, but not just normal liberals. I'm talking, they are, Weinstein was a crazy regressive leftist. And he had the power, and he obviously used it in all kinds of dirty, fucked up ways. But he was an Oscar machine, and no one cared. They wanted their Oscar, they wanted the prestige, they wanted their $1 million paycheck. It's bullshit. And I think the only way around that is if middle America has spoken. If you're looking at the box office numbers, they're failing. You can't just put a reboot out. People aren't just going to watch a movie. They're going to see shitty reviews online. Right. They're going to see shitty leftist actors saying shitty things about them and the rest of America, and they're not going to go see it. And that's what's happening.
What's happening with other big movies right now? I mean, coming from Man on the Moon.
You want to take out
the first Man. Right, Man on the Moon was the
we got two problems. I got 2 problems with that movie. I will fucking say it. First off, you took out the biggest point of it, which is putting the American flag on the moon. How many people busted their ass to try to beat communists and everything else so that they could say America was on the moon first, and you took it out because why? Mm-hmm. It's fucking insulting. And then to have the lead female come out and say shit about Trump. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck your movie. And middle America has spoken because last I checked, it wasn't doing so good. So how's that working for you?
Yeah, it's not doing well at all, is
No,
it?
I'm good. Fuck them.
Okay, so is this is this when we're talking about it from a cultural standpoint? Box office numbers. Gosnell came out. It was one of the most successful independent movies this year.
Considering
if
it
not
got
the,
barely
I
any
think
positive
the
press.
number one independent movie of the year so far. And then Man on the Moon. First Man.
Yeah.
I think it's called. They had the political controversy. The flag, the American flag. Folks that didn't know this, was not put in when Neil Armstrong got off the moon. Buzz Aldrin was there, and people were furious about it because they're trying to make this somewhat a global achievement. Is that what it is?
You know, I think it's insulting. Same reason, like when people are like, we have to have a female heroine in this film.
Right.
I'm capable of watching Superman and liking it.
Right.
To say it needs to be Wonder Woman is like, just because I'm female, I can watch a movie with the male hero and be all the same.
So Christopher Reeve Superman, when he's carrying the American flag floating around the world, that wouldn't be made today.
It probably wouldn't. Isn't that sad?
It'd be the UN flag.
Oh my God, the UN. You know, I just think it's insulting. There's obviously, you got conservatives, you got liberals, you got people in the middle. For some reason, being patriotic and loving our flag became wrong. I mean, not to most people, not to you know Idaho people or any Texas or anything like that.
Flyover.
And what I think has actually made conservatives more patriotic. And I mean, what are the leftists there? They're standing there like, oh, the flag's what? If you got a problem with our country, go to another country, because I've been to other countries and I love ours and I'm thankful every day. I ain't eating out of the trash or any of the other things. I'm thankful that I'm here and I want to make this country better. Why don't they? What's with the globalist thing? Like, if you really have open borders, what do they think's going to happen?
It's multiculturalism. It's globalism. It's the moral equivalence that America can't be. You know, it's the American first. They're against the American first crowd because they think nationalism in some way is a negative thing. But if you go to Australia, Australians want Australia first, or Germany first. Although it didn't work out a couple of times.
I would never yell at a British guy for wearing the Union Jack.
Right.
What kind of asshole would I be? Like,
Right.
Of course he's going to be proud. But for some reason, there's this shame, and I'm like, I am proud to be an American. And if you're not, maybe you should move.
What projects you got coming up besides Roe v. Wade?
Oh, shoot. I've only working on something. I just did another segment of Brides of Satan. Checkpoint's actually on Netflix, and I guess it's on airplanes now, too. So if you're stuck
this is
there,
called Checkpoint?
Checkpoint. It's actually about veterans. There's like a domestic terrorism incident, and veterans that are in a community kind of get back into it and defend the country. It's actually really cool. It's got Bill Goldberg. It's got William Forsythe. And
I know William Forsythe. Wasn't he in Raising Arizona?
He's in Roe v. Wade.
He's in really?
Yeah.
He plays a good bad guy. Is he a bad guy in that, or?
No, he's one of the justices.
Oh, is he? Okay.
But
he's getting older now. He can carry that.
Oh, I don't know.
Raising Arizona is one of my favorite all-time movies,
now
right?
You're making me feel old, because I'm like thinking, when did I watch that?
He was with John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
So folks, check out Netflix, Checkpoint on Netflix, and then Roe v. Wade is in post-production. Any ETA when that might hit? And where's it distributed through? Is that going to be in the theaters, or?
I heard it's going to theaters.
It is going to theaters.
I can't remember the name of the distro. I'm a bad co-producer on this. But, and then of course, Range 15 is on Amazon Prime if you want to catch it. So that's another.
Range 15.
It stars almost entirely veterans. They wanted to make a movie using veteran humor, and I'm lucky enough to be one of the few working actors on that. We've got William Shatner. We've got Danny Trejo, Randy
cool
Couture,
is that?
Tim Kennedy. We've got like Medal of Honor winners. It was a really cool film. So, and if you like America, you're gonna like. I mean, it's just guns and zombies and.
Right.
That's
All right,
me.
Mindy Robinson, you are. Thank you very much for your time. You are a breath of fresh air here in Los Angeles as far as your perspective of things.
Oh, thank you.
And folks, check her out. And you're also on Twitter.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at iHeartMindy. The Facebook is under Mindy Robinson. You'll see the flag. Please don't hit my personal. It's a very boring page. And I do the Red White FU, unapologetically patriotic show. We do these segments that are. I mean, I'm surprised I don't like just throw bacon up in the air. It's the most American thing you've ever seen. It's fun.
All right. Folks, check her out. And thanks. We'll be right back. Whiskey Politics. Thanks, Mindy.
No worries.